Wow, that was a pretty bad crash, wasn't it? Hey everybody, this is Kurtz Smith from Surfing Gear. I'm doing this video for you on the right way and the wrong way to put a surfboard on top of a car for transportation. So let's just take a look at what happened in that video that you just saw. A board flew off a car, and believe it or not, that happens a lot more than you think. And here is a board that flew off of a car, and you can see extensive damage to the nose, right across underneath the board where the stringer was broken, and back on the tail. So you don't want that as your board, because this board is basically junk now. So therefore, if you can get your board up on top of your car, you're going to take care of your board, and you're also going to take care of the people that are driving around you. Because as you saw in that video to start, if your board comes off the top of your car, it's doing damage somewhere, and it could be to the car behind you or the car behind that, and you don't want that to happen. So, a couple of basics on putting a board on top of a car. Here's a big question people say. Do you put the fins in the front or do you put the fins in the back? The fins, as you can see on my car and this board, the fins go in the front. Well, why is that? Well, it's pretty basic. If you think about it, if the fins are on the front and your board wants to slide off the car because you're going 70 miles an hour down the interstate, as the board wants to slide back, the fins are going to catch on your strap, and it's going to stop the board from coming off. Now, let's just change that around, and we're going to put the fins on the back, and I'm going to show you what might happen. Alright, let's talk about why the fins in the front versus in the back. Why not put the fins in the back? You've been doing it since you started surfing, maybe a year ago, and nobody's ever told you otherwise. Well, two things. Number one, if the fins are in the back, people are going to know you're a hodag. You don't know what you're doing, and surfing is all about perception, and you want to look cool, and so if the fins are in the front, you know what you're doing. Fins are in the back, you don't know what you're doing. Okay, that's number one. Number two, for safety, let me show you what happens when you're cruising down the interstate and you got your board set up like this with the fins in the back. The wind is working on that board as you're driving, and a lot of folks aren't strapping their boards down the correct way, which I'm going to show you in another video at another time. But let's say this board is loose and it's flapping around like this while you're driving. You don't know it because you're inside your car listening to the radio at full blast, and you got no idea that your board or boards on top are rocking and rolling and getting ready to fly off. Now here's what happens. Wind is on the board, you're flying down the road, board flies off, guy behind you ends up with a big headache through his windshield. Bad, bad way to end your day, because the fins are in the back and there's nothing there to stop the fins as the board slides off. And then you end up with something that looks like this, which you don't want, although your local surf shop is going to appreciate it because now their ding repair business goes up. But bad thing, fins in the front, board stays on, fins in the back, you don't know what to expect. Okay, so we know fins in the front, no fins in the back. The other thing we want to talk about is strapping the board down. Here's the other cardinal sin do not want is bungee cord. Bungee cord, the old traditional. Everybody goes to Lowe's and buys a big bag of bungee cord, and then you end up strapping your board down with it, along with a bunch of other crap that you're putting on your car. Bungee cord's great on strapping something on your backpack, not so good on a surfboard. Let me show you what happens when you use bungee cord. Okay, everybody, even with the fins in the front, putting the bungee cord on. All right, hey man, my board's good to go, right? All right, wind starts getting on that. Look at this thing, flapping up in the air. Not only do you get to see my big biceps, but you also get to see how this board is flying around, waving at all the people that you're passing when you're going down the road. And eventually, what's going to happen, because bungee is not made very well, this thing is going to, your hook will probably either bend or break, and now you got the board flying off the top of your car. It's happened too many times. Bungee cord is awful. So what do you use instead of bungee cord? Use a good nylon web strapping with a cam buckle on it. These things are great. We sell them at Surfing Gear. We've got them in 12-foot lengths as well as with the looped tie-down straps. On my car right now, I've got a set of 7-foot loop tie-downs. I've got this end that loops onto the bar right here. Get that bad bungee cord out of here. I got the other piece with the cam buckle over on this side. I'm simply gonna get this thing, strap it. Pull it nice and tight. I'm bringing it right up against the board. Put a little loop in here just to make sure nothing goes seriously wrong. Cinch it down. That baby's on there. That's not going anywhere. You do the back strap. You have double straps now on your board. This thing is locked. If the board wants to slide back, the fins are going to stop on the straps, like we said earlier. All right? So, no to the bungee. Save that for your backpacks and your beach chairs, but don't use it on the top of your car with your board. Yes to the nylon web straps that we can get for you at Surfing Gear. A good set of roof rack pads, which we also have available at Surfing Gear, and you are good to go. All right, that's pretty much it from here. Be safe out there. Carpe diem. Thank you.